Hello there. What we're doing tonight, I am making a whipping cream pound cake. I have my bundt pan already ready to go. And we are using these ingredients. I have 3 cups of sugar, 5 eggs, 3 cups of cake flour. We have 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to go ahead on and incorporate that in. We have 1 cup of whipping cream, which we're going to use into our batter. Going to set the baking powder, salt. Don't need no more of that. So I'm going to do this. We're going to whisk the dry ingredients together. This is going to be like part 1 of this delicious whipping cream pound cake. And I'll tell you, it is absolutely delicious and absolutely tender, soft. It's a good pound cake. So we're going to take the 3 sticks of butter and we're going to get that put up. Then we'll add in the sugar. And we have our vanilla. We have 2 types of vanilla that I'm using. My homemade vanilla that I made 6 months ago, which is delicious, and a little butter vanilla, okay? So we're going to get all that incorporated as well. Going to get all this mixed up in this mixer, and you do not want to over mix your pound cake. I made this pound cake about a week ago, and I tell you, everybody was ranting and raving about it. It was delicious. It really, really was. So I'm going to pull this over a little bit. Get my mixer over here. Get this over here so you can see a little bit. And this is not as loud as my KitchenAid mixer, so I'm just using this one tonight. So I'm just going to mix this so. And you want your butter to be at room temperature, your eggs at room temperature, because when you're doing a pound cake, you want this to be at room temperature. It blends in well. The whipping cream, you can just take that right out of the fridge. I did let it sit out about 20 minutes. And it's not that many ingredients, actually. It's only a few ingredients. So mix that in something like this. I have my oven set at well, it's preheating. That's going to be set at 335. It say to bake this pound cake on 325, but I'm using my convection oven, so you'll want to increase it a little bit, okay? So that's why I have it set at 335. So we're going to add in the sugar. I'm going to get that blended in till it's light and fluffy. I have to be careful on this new mixer because I'm not used to it. Sometimes I think I'm going back when I'm going forward. Get that all incorporated. Okay, then we need to scrape down. Make sure you go back and scrape down. I better make sure it's locked. I don't think this mixer would move if it's not locked. So get everything straight down because you want everything to be blended in really, really well. Okay. Put that right over there. Put it down. Alright, so now we're going to add our eggs in one at a time. I have 5 eggs. Just one until all the yellow have disappeared. The yolk. 2. 3. 4. 5. Set that over there like so, like that. Come back and scrape your bowl sure you come back and scrape your bowl down. Because you want everything incorporated in. Like I said, this is part 1. After I bake it, I'll come back with part 2 and show you how I'm going to ice it. What kind of icing I'll be using for this delicious homemade pound cake. And this is where you really don't want to overbeat your mixture, okay? Now we're going to put in the flavor. Like I said, this is my homemade flavor. I have vanilla. Can you see those vanilla beans? I have vanilla beans in them. That's how you make it. And you that's 1 tablespoon. That's plenty. You fill this up with vodka, whatever liquor you want to use to make your vanilla beans. So then I'm gonna add a little bit of this right here. A little bit of my butter vanilla. I don't have to really measure this. Probably about 1/2 teaspoon because this is really highly concentrated and it is absolutely delicious. But go ahead on and make you some of that vanilla. I'm telling you, if you let it sit 6 months, the alcohol draws the vanilla beans out and it's really delicious. Because that's how to make vanilla beans with alcohol. So now we're going to mix this a little bit more. You do not want to overmix a pound cake. Uh-oh. Hallelujah. This thing is falling down. Okay. What happened here? Because I hit it. All right. So let's get all this mixed in, incorporated. That looks good mixed in. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add in our flour. Deep down. Okay. We're going to add our flour. We're going to do flour and milk. Start with the dry ingredients and end up with your dry ingredients. And no, I don't use that little bit of this little thing. I ain't got time for that. Take too much time, but I can just pour it in. And I just normally do half when I make this cake. Okay, make sure you stay up in here now. I'll probably end up taking it off and get on my nerve. Okay, just blend that in like so. Can't take it off now because I have to take my whole bead off. No, I'm not going to do that right now. So let's do like this right here and get it all mixed in, get it all incorporated, get that flour off now. Okay, get it all down. All right, so we're going to pour the rest of this whipping cream in here. Get all the whipping cream out. Then we're going to pour the rest of the cake flour. Cake flour is a light texture flour. If I don't use cake flour, I use all-purpose white lily flour. And let me tell you, that white lily flour is one of the best flours you can ever use. I make everything with white lily. That's the only thing that I buy in my house. And this butter, I always buy unsalted butter. I didn't mention that, but that's all I ever buy, unsalted butter. That way I can control the salt, because since I added 1/2 teaspoon of salt, you don't want to have a whole butter, a salt butter with a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That'll be too much salt for your cake. So let's go ahead and mix this in here. Ready to see what it looks like. It's ready to go in my pan. So that's part 1. I'll come back to you with part 2. This right here is preheated, So I'm gonna take my pan and I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my pan. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit that notification bell, and I'll be back with you. I'm going to bake this hour and 10 minutes. So I'll be back in an hour and 10 minutes. Thanks for watching my channel. Subscribe, like, share, share, share.